Nick Foles does it again. Nick Foles takes the Philadelphia Eagles onto a regular season Super Bowl favorite, Los Angeles Rams field, and leads them once again to an improbable victory. Nick Foles goes 24 of 31 for 270 yards, and outside of that Bills-Vikings game earlier this season, that Bills-Vikings game that no one could wrap their head around, the biggest underdog, the biggest line, the biggest deficit overcome, other than that crazy Bills-Vikes game, was last night on Sunday Night Football as the Eagles took down the Rams. Or better yet, Nick Foles took down the Rams. And if you don't think that's the beginning of a border war in Philadelphia, if you don't think there are denizens on both sides, those that live in Foles territory yelling at those that live in Wentz territory, you got your head in the sand. You're not an Eagles fan, you're a Philadelphia Ostrich fan. This is beginning. All it takes is a little 3-game run. All it takes is this 29% playoff odds. That's where the Eagles stand today. 29% chance to make the playoffs. All it takes is for that to become 100% fruition, for you to be divided 50-50 in Philadelphia. So where do they stand now? Who's going to lead them into the future? Who's going to lead them in the short term? Who's going to lead them next weekend against the Houston Texans? Who's your starting quarterback, Coach Peterson? Who will see the field?
It's a couple things. We've gotten a little more info. It'll be Nick. Where Carson is health-wise, and just another week of rest for Carson will help him, and so made the decision to go forward with Nick. We will not put Carson on IR.
There's your breaking news from just a couple of hours ago. Doug Peterson names Nick Foles the starting quarterback next weekend, Week 16, as the Eagles take on the Houston Texans. And it's not just me. Zach Berman on Philly.com. There's just something about these Eagles, or maybe something about Nick Foles. Mike Cielski, friend of the show. It reads as follow on Philadelphia.com. Once more, Foles at his best when the Eagles need him the most. I'm walking through the hallways today at ESPN. There's televisions littered throughout the hallways, in cubicles, at people's desks. And I look across and I see NFL Live on there. And the question's being asked. Are the Eagles better with Carson Wentz, or are they better with Nick Foles? Here's Ryan Clark, ESPN NFL analyst, on which teams they're better with.
You're never better putting in a player that's not as good as the other player. But I will say this about the team. I think Doug Peterson is better when Nick Foles is the quarterback. I think he sticks to the run game. I thought Smallwood and Adams was better last night. I thought Alshon Jeffrey was better than he'd been all season as well. And so this team, it's a different dynamic when Nick Foles is the quarterback. I think other people around him step up.
Now be clear. I'm not telling you that Nick Foles is better than Carson Wentz. I'm not telling you they're starting the wrong quarterback. I'm not telling you that long-term they shouldn't be committed to Carson Wentz as their franchise quarterback. I'm telling you what will happen in Philadelphia. I'm telling you that if they go on a 3-0 run, if he leads them from the graveyard to the playoffs, if he leads them once again into contention, there will be a rightful debate in Philadelphia about who should be their quarterback. There will be sides taken. There will be people yelling, debates to be had. There will be a Foles versus Wentz civil war.